guys, Henry here from Product Creation Formula. In this video, we're going to be talking about 3 easy steps to rebrand your PLR ebook. But before we go ahead and do that, I just want to let you know here at Product Creation Formula, we love to give you tips and tricks to be able to help you create your products quickly and easily. Along with that, we also do product reviews as well as tips on how to make money online. So if that's the sort of thing that interests you, how about you smash that like button as well as subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified whenever we upload more videos. Okay guys, let's go check it out. Firstly, what is PLR? Well, PLR is simply called private label rights. Now, if you don't know what that is, it is essentially where you are given the rights to be able to alter the product to be able to suit it to yourself. In other words, you can rebrand it and make it your product. Now, you'll usually be given a license for this, and that is a legal license to let you know what you can and can't do with it. Ordinarily, with proper PLR or private label rights, you'll be able to change the product up to suit yourself. And you'll be able to do things like change the title, change the content of the book, change the covers as well, and you'll be able to make it, and you'll be able to put your name on it to be the author. Sometimes there are a couple of restrictions. One might be you're not allowed to give it to a free website or put it in a free website. You're not allowed to sell private label rights licenses with it, or there might be other restrictions that the author decides to put on there. Other than that, private label rights are usually pretty good. Now, you also have another thing called master resell rights. Now, master resell rights are where you have the ability to be able to sell the master resell rights as well as the resell rights of the product. You may not be allowed to, you most likely won't be allowed to edit the product. You'll have to sell it as is, in which case you really won't be able to do too much editing to it. You may be allowed, if you're given a website, to be able to change the website around and put your name on the website, but when it comes to the actual product itself, most likely you won't be allowed to change it. And then you have resell rights. You may be allowed to sell the resell rights to it, or you can sell it as your own product, but you can't necessarily change the name of the product. You may be able to put your name on the product, but you can't change the actual product itself. So these are some of the things that you have to look for. So when you have a private label rights product, make sure that you have one that gives you almost complete unrestricted rights to do whatever you like with it. But not putting in a free membership site, that's nothing really. I mean, if it says not to put in a free membership site, then that's fine, just don't do that. And there are a couple of other that might say that you can't sell the private label rights. That's fine. If you wanted to repurpose, then you come to the right place. So what's the first thing you should do when it comes to rebranding your private label rights products? Well, I believe the very first thing you should do when you're deciding to rebrand your private label rights products is to rename the product. Sometimes it's obvious. For example, let me show you over here on the screen. For example, one of the obvious ones would be this particular ebook just here. Okay, 60 minutes profits. What I had previously done is I had changed the name to 1 hour payday profits. So as you can see, I changed the name from 60 minute profits to 1 hour payday profits. To me, that was an obvious choice. Or 1 hour payday would have worked as well. Or 1 hour profits. It was pretty much self-explanatory. And you can also look at the name here, discover the highest speed money making strategies of the pros. You can change that around and you can make that completely different as well. Now, another thing you'll need to do, you can probably keep most of this and perhaps just change if the name of the book is in there, you might want to change the name of the book in there. And you might also want to change down the bottom here, you also want to change the footer and the header if they have it. And then you might want to also change the titles of the contents. Now, the first thing you want to do, as I said, is to change the name. So how do we go about doing that? There's several ways. One is whether it's obvious or not. That's one of the easiest ways. Quite often they are obvious, sometimes not so much. When it's not so easy to be able to figure out a title, let's have a look at this tool that I'm going to be showing you now. This one is called selfpublishing.com. I'll leave the link to this one down below. It's actually self-publishing tools, non-fiction book title generator. So what you can do is go down here. Say for example, I'm just going to be putting in here digital product creation. Okay, so you can click on that. And all you have to do, now when you sign into this, you'll need to add your name and email address, and then you'll be able to sign into it. And then you hit generate. Say for example here, I'm just going to be doing this. Just do that. And then we go, I'm writing a book to grow my business. Yes, now that's good. A fast and easy guide to digital product creation. That's not a bad name for a book. Let's have a look at another one. Why you shouldn't digital product creation. No, I don't like that. So you can go to another one. Digital product creation for millennials. Well, that's a possibility, I guess. Digital product creation in 10 easy steps. That's another one you might want to consider. Don't dare digital product creation without reading that. I wouldn't. That's a terrible one. Managing your digital product creation. Yeah, it's not great, but yeah, depending on what you're doing. Digital product creation, your way to a happier you. Yeah, I wouldn't use it. Some of them are great, some of them are not so good. As you can see, selfpublishing.com, and as I said, I'll leave the link for this down below. This is actually a really good little site. So what is step number 2 when it comes to changing your product? Step number 2 when it comes to changing your product is literally rewriting all your content. I'm just going to expand it up just a little bit. Now what you can do here if you want to, this is how I started off doing it, is I started off doing things like I would type it in, but I owned Dragon Naturally Speaking, so I would have used Dragon Naturally Speaking and I would have rewritten that sentence just here. So I would highlight that sentence in yellow so as I know that's the one I have to dictate to, and then I would have dictated it in Dragon Naturally Speaking. Or in today's modern society, Microsoft Office has made it easy for us by using the dictate section here, and you can use that straight in the document itself. Now if you don't particularly like using Microsoft Office Word 365 because it has a monthly subscription, you can also choose to go to Lily Speech. Now Lily Speech is another piece of software that I use, and it's free, which is really great, and you can dictate straight onto wherever you want. And say for example you might have OpenOffice Writer, you can dictate straight onto OpenOffice Writer using Lily Speech. Or if you want to write into a text document of any kind, you can use Lily Speech to do that. But make sure that when you are changing the PLR content or the content of your PLR ebook, make sure that if you want to make it as unique as possible, try and edit about 70% of the content. This way it makes it far more unique to you. Now another thing you can do is to use a tool like Quillbot or Spin Rewriter. Let's go have a look at them. Now let's just say you don't want to have to sit there and try and come up with the ideas yourself or anything like that, and you're finding it too stressful and too difficult to do. So what you can do in this case is use something like Quillbot, which is what I use. I find I prefer Quillbot over Spin Rewriter, but you can use something like this and this will rewrite it for you. All you really need to do is grab the content here. So I'll just grab this section here, go down here, grab all of this, right click copy, pop that into here and have this rewrite the copy for me. Then all I have to do, make sure I have it on here and it will rewrite the copy for me. And then in just a moment you'll see that it has all of these sentences made up for you, and it's pretty much ready to go. Now these ones here in blue, these ones, this section here, survey sites that pay pennies per hour, that is actually a part of this text over here, and you might want to change that. Or you might, and these ones here, and how you can change it pretty easily is just left click on that, and it gives you various options. Survey sites. Okay, so you might want to go pay pennies, earn pennies, and by just doing that you pretty much change the top, the entire sentence. Thankfully there are legitimate ways to make money online, ways to make money, earn money, bang, there are legitimate, go there. Yeah, well, you can change it around, it doesn't really matter. And you can go through, have a look at what needs to be changed and make it more unique to you. Not hard to do, it's really quite simple and easy. You can also, if you wish to, you can put it up to here, and that will make it more unique. All you have to do is respin it, and you're pretty much ready to go. And then you just read through it, change it up as you see it and what you want, and that's it. Now you might want to use Spin Rewriter as well, because Spin Rewriter is a good tool, and I find that it's a little bit funky sometimes, and it doesn't always do what I want it to do. And quillbot is far better at this, but that's my opinion and I'm sticking with it. Anyhow, you can also get a link for these down in the description box down below. Make sure you do rewrite it, changing around about 75% of the content to make it way more unique to you, especially if you're wanting to sell it in places like Amazon KDP. Now another thing you're going to want to do is go and change the ebook cover. Now I've got a really good one here that I go to called Snappa, snappa.com. It's free, and you can go in here and use this one here. It's called an ebook cover. Now you can go through and have a look at the various book covers here and see what they have on offer. I'm going to have a quick look at this one here. I actually quite like this as it is, and because it's got the computer and everything already written there, I personally like that, so I'm going to just leave that as is. And yeah, you can change things around, you can move things up and down. You don't have to keep things as it is, you can change things up and make it look different. And yeah, how you want to change it around is completely up to you. And you can make it any way you want. It really is how you want to make it. And then you can just double click and tap on the words, type in what you want to write. You make the words longer, or you can make the spacing of the words bigger, or you can make the lines tighter or further out. It's up to you. It's up to you how you want to do it. And you can change the color if you want to. There's a whole bunch of things you can do here. You can change the layers and you can lock them into place. You can also download. Just be aware, because if you're in the free section of this, you are limited to how many downloads you can do. So just understand that, okay? But if you want to pay for the monthly subscription, that's fine as well. But yeah, this is called Snappa, and this I love, because you can use this to rebrand your book. Alright guys, if you like this video, please consider smashing the like button, as well as subscribing and hitting the bell icon so you can be notified whenever we upload more videos. Please consider sharing, as well as leaving a comment down below and let me know of other things you do to help rebrand your ebook. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.